All right, I think we're going to get started. Thanks everybody for joining us for our last of our new Spider Summer series, and hope you found the summer series to be useful. My name is Andy Gurka. I'm the Director of Student Involvement here at the university. Our topic tonight is about orientation and the sort of first few weeks of the semester. I'm joined by two of our orientation leaders. They just moved back to campus this week, and we've been training our orientation advisor staff, who are very excited to welcome everyone to campus. They're going to introduce themselves, and then we'll give you some brief overview of orientation and tell you a little bit about what students can expect and parents can expect. And then we'll let you all ask us questions for our remaining part of our time. So Hur, Mohammed, do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Huru Len. I'm a senior, double majoring in psychology and economics. I'm involved in a number of clubs on campus. I'm in our South Asian Student Alliance. I'm in a dance team called You Are Bollywood Jhatkas. Obviously involved in orientation. And then I also work as a peer support specialist for our mental health warm line that we have on campus.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammed. I'm a senior as well at the university. I'm double majoring in biochemistry and healthcare. I'm originally from Palestine, but I was born and raised in Lebanon. And my involvement around campus, I am in part of the badminton club. I'm also part of the Richmond Student Government. And I work at the International Center as a global guide for our students who plan to study abroad.
Thanks to Mohammed and Hur for joining us tonight and taking time out of your evening. So let us tell you a little bit about what will happen and what students can expect during orientation. So the most important part, to be totally honest, is that you all download. I put it in the chat for everyone to download. We have an online orientation schedule. It's really you can view it online as a website, but it really does work really quite nicely as a web app for your phone, available in sort of all of the app stores and platforms that you would have. So there's directions in there to do that. Once you download it and you create your account, you can actually use the filter feature. So if you go to My Schedule, if you go to the schedule feature in it, you'll see all of the events. And it gets a little overwhelming, totally understand that. But if you go to the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see three little lines, and that's the filter, and you can filter by which programs that you want to attend. So if you're looking only for programs for parents and families, there's an easy little parent and family track. If you click required, those are the required programs that every student must attend when during New Spider orientation. You can also look at social events, health and well-being opportunities, all kinds of things that students can participate in. So New Spider orientation officially begins on Wednesday evening, August 17th, and continues through Saturday, August 20th. It starts with our university welcome, where we traditionally is the sort of formal welcome to the university from our president and university leaders. Students get presented with their class flag, which is a cool tradition here at the university. And then students will spend the rest of their evening with their orientation advisors. Our orientation advisors, there are 60 of them that are currently all here on campus and being trained. We've worked with them since the beginning of this calendar year on training them and getting them ready to welcome our new Spiders to the university community. So they are well equipped to help our new students. Every student will get assigned to an orientation group, is what we call it. And that orientation group is led by two orientation advisors. Those orientation advisors will really guide them throughout the orientation experience from Wednesday night all the way through Saturday. And we'll be in touch with them. They'll create group me's. They'll sort of help, which is an online communication platform for anybody who's not familiar. It's very popular here on campus. And we and they really are the guides to help new students throughout all of the process. Questions they may have, all of those things. So Wednesday night, we sort of separate parents and students after the university welcome. Parents and families get a great night of freedom in the city of Richmond and can enjoy the city and all it has to offer, while our new students are hanging out with their orientation advisors and their orientation groups. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you'll see through the schedule, there's a mixture of sort of required programs that we think are important or are required for us to tell new students as part of our orientation experience that students will go to, as well as a variety of other kinds of opportunities, right? We want students to be able to see the full breadth and depth of the university. So there are opportunities for students to connect around affinity groups. There's lots of opportunities for students to go to social programming in the evenings, particularly every night we have social programs for students to participate in. There are affinity groups, there are fitness classes, you want to take introduction to meditation, you can do that. All kinds of fun activities that really help students to sort of meet one another, meet different folks within the first year and transfer class, and we're excited to do that. For parents and families, we have a program for you all as well that goes Thursday morning, starts in the morning and goes and wraps up around lunchtime. You'll notice if you look at the schedules and compare the parent family schedule and the student schedule, they both have they both finish the morning sessions around the same time. So it's a great opportunity to sort of have lunch on campus and maybe say some goodbyes. I would say the majority of our parents end up leaving sometime Thursday. Most parents don't stick around on Friday and Saturday, but again, you're welcome to enjoy the city of Richmond, interact with your students when they're done with required sort of events for the days and evenings. So most parents, again, stay through the orientation program. But then again, we also know that not every parent and family can stay. Some folks just come Wednesday night. Some folks just stay as long as they can and then head home. Whatever you do works for us, and we'll work with you if you have questions about any of those kinds of things. So that's really what happens during the course of orientation. And then there are just a few other things that I will make note of that I think are important in the first couple weeks, right? There's a major, we host an annual concert on the night before classes begin on Sunday night. It's called Spider Drop. It's an EDM concert that happens on campus with a laser light show and all those things that are open to all new students. So our new students as well as our returning students all attend that. And then I would say the other major thing that I would note is September 1st, which is what we call SpiderFest. It is our student organization fair. We have 165 registered student organizations here at the university, and they all have tables and booths set up on our university forum. And they it's a great opportunity for first year students to meet, to interact with student organizations, figure out what they're interested in, all those kinds of things, and sign up for email listservs and to get involved. So those would be two things that I would highlight. I've done enough talking because I don't generally like to do this much talking. So I'll let Hur and Mohammed tell you sort of advice that they have about orientation, things that they're excited about, anything that they want to highlight for you before we take questions.
Yeah, I think my biggest advice is to just like take advantage of all the resources that are there. Like everyone is so excited. We've been working hard all summer to train ourselves, get ready to welcome the new students. And so just really taking advantage of that, getting to know your orientation advisor, your RA, like your resident assistant, just everyone is very excited to meet you. And we have, like Andy mentioned, a bunch of affinity groups, a lot of social events. So just taking advantage of all of those resources. I think I'm most excited about is that the Spider Safe Social? The one that's, yeah, it's on one of my favorite spots on campus on the West Hampton Greens. And it's like right after our alcohol awareness sessions, and the whole social is designed to reinforce some of the learning lessons and like make it more fun and interactive. And we're gonna have like mocktails there because it's kind of on the theme of alcohol awareness. And we're gonna have like a discussion pong table instead of beer pong, and just like a lot of fun things to do surrounding alcohol awareness. And it's like going to be a really fun social. So that's one thing I'm really excited about.
Adding to that, I would say personally, a good advice, it might not sound like a lot, but have fun. Orientation can be intense, and there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of like mandatory stuff that you have to attend, but make sure that you're having fun, you're making friends, you're meeting people. You're going to be building a lot of good connections with your OAs, and the fellow students, of course. So make sure you make the most out of this experience, because personally, I had the best time during orientation. I met a lot of my friends during orientation, we're still friends until now, but also I met a lot of them later throughout the year. So I would say definitely make the most out of this experience. And something that I'm excited about, it's also another social. It's the Nsl Block Party. It's always a really fun, engaging spot where we have a lot of fun games. We have a DJ, we have food. It's a really fun spot where just all the orientation groups come together, and you get to meet all the other students on campus, because a lot of times you find orientation groups are they're doing their own thing all the time. You're having your own discussions, but these socials are the time where you meet everybody else. So I would highly encourage attending those and just meeting other people. Yeah.
Thanks, Mohammed and Hur. So I think we'll turn it over to you. I see some questions in the Q&A that I think we can start jumping on. And if there are, Mohammed and Hur and I will take answering some of them, and that may prompt some other tangents that we'll go on about orientation and tell you about. So students will find out. The first question is, when do students find out what orientation group they're in? They will find out by the end of the week, and they'll get an email that will let them know who their OAs are and what their orientation group is. So they should check their richmond.edu email address, because that's where that information goes. Another question about how orientation groups are formed. They're actually formed by residence hall, and they are mixed. So if you are if Mohammed and I are roommates in Laura Robbins Court, for instance, we will be in different orientation groups just to try to mix it up, because Mohammed and I will obviously be getting to know each other as roommates. But we do mix them up. So everyone would be in the same residence hall. They are co-ed, and they sort of are bringing people together across all those other things. Mohammed, do you want to answer the question about transfer orientation?
Yeah, absolutely. So for transfer orientation, the only different thing is that those students would have they would have to attend mandatory meetings throughout orientation. These are things that they have to attend, just kind of like some legal stuff. But that would be like the only difference. They wouldn't have an orientation group or OAs, but they would be able to reach out to any of the OAs or the OLs for help throughout, like moving in or and their residents. There's obviously RAs too. So in case they need help with any other thing, any other thing apart from orientation, there's always RAs and OAs and OLs to help them.
Yep. So yeah, they'll come to everything that's required, and they're welcome to come to everything that's social as well. And they do have an orientation advisors that are attached to them, and we'll get in touch with them as well. So let's see here. Job fair. I actually have that pulled up. I do know that there is a question about a job fair on campus. So yes, there is a job fair. I would encourage you to, I put the link in the website, the link to the website in the chat. So it is on Tuesday, August 23rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's on our university forum, which when you get to campus, you will see is a big plaza on campus. I also don't think I know for a fact that new students don't have to wait to start applying for jobs. So if you click on that link, that shows you all of the current job openings that students can apply for, and new students can absolutely start applying for those jobs online. Some of the there's directions on how to apply for each of the jobs. It tells them what they pay, what the commitments are. And so you can absolutely start doing that now, or you can wait till the job fair as well. The most important part when working on campus is that folks need to have their original I-9 documentation in order to work on campus. So that does require some original government documentation in order that they would have to bring to campus in order to work. If on that website where I just sent, that's studentjobs.richmond.edu, the job openings one website, there is, if you click on I-9 documentation, it will tell you what domestic students as well as international students are required to have in terms of documentation in order to work on campus. The trick with the US federal government is that they must be original documents. So it's not like you can have a photocopy or a photo of your social security card, for instance, of your domestic student. You have to have the physical card, which is, I know, a pain, but is a requirement by federal law here in the United States. So we will, so that is the one thing about the job fair, but it's a great opportunity and students can start applying already. We had a question about the parent gathering. So on Wednesday evening, on August 17th, before the university welcome, There is students and parents are welcome to eat on campus. You can eat in the dining hall. Our dining hall is available and has a wonderful menu set up for the first night on campus for Wednesday night. And so you're welcome to eat in the dining hall with your student. Endeavor question. So we have some students that are participating in Endeavor, which means they arrive on Sunday and not on Wednesday, which is great. So they will go through the Endeavor program on Monday through Wednesday, as well as go through regular New Spider orientation. So they will go to all of the required events and all of the other things. The Endeavor orientation is very different from the New Spider orientation session. So it's not like they're hearing the same session over and over and over again. So great. Ava has asked a great question about from Hur and Mohammed. So looking back at your first year, what do you wish your orientation self would have known or done? It's a great question, Ava.
I think something I would have known is that I was really nervous. Like I was thinking I'm the only one that's, you know, so far away from my family, and I'm the only one that doesn't know where the dining hall is. And so I wish I would have known that like I'm not, and everyone is in the same boat. Everyone's feeling nervous, everyone's feeling shy, everyone's feeling homesick, all of those things. And I think something I wish I would have done differently is connecting with my orientation advisors more, because I think my biggest thing was I need to find my first group of friends that are going to go to the dining hall with me, that are going to like hang out with me when I have no one else. I don't want to look like I'm alone, but which is also important. Like I get everyone goes through that, but I wish I had like taken some time to like talk with my orientation advisors one-on-one, because they were actually really cool and I connected with them after orientation. But during as well, like reaching out a little bit more is something I wish I would have done differently.
Personally, one big thing was coming here, and after having so I went to high school abroad, and one thing that I think I did wrong is that I didn't want to meet anybody. I felt like it was something weird, and I felt like they'll be looking at me like, who's this weird person who's coming to talk to everybody and trying to get to know people? And I didn't want to do this in college. So when I came my first year, I was like, I'm gonna try to do this differently. And I like when I came here, I came in with this same mindset of like, I don't want to meet people but then I looked back at myself how that didn't really help me much, and I tried to open up and talk to people. So that was one big thing that I wish I did do it, but I wish I built on more, that I was more open to meeting new people, meeting new students. And I did at the beginning of my time at U of R that I did come up to people and introduce myself and talk to them, but I didn't do it as much. So I wish that I did that a lot more and was able to meet a lot more people around campus. Yeah.
So there is a question about difference between orientation for parents that are participating in Endeavor versus the New Spider orientation, parent orientation. So if you are a parent of a student who's moving in on Sunday instead of Wednesday because they're participating in one of our transition programs, like Endeavor or International Orientation or Multicultural Prio, we offer a parent orientation Sunday evening and Monday morning that is virtually the same as what we do Wednesday and Thursday. You'll get to meet the president, you'll get to meet the provost, the deans, you'll get to hear from our excellent student panelists, Hur and Mohammed are among those panelists, so they do double duty. So they will get to, so you'll get to hear the same kinds of things that you'll be hearing because we know most parents who come early don't stay through Wednesday, Thursday. So there really isn't much of a difference, besides the group is a little bit smaller and we're in a theater instead of the arena. That's really the difference there. Hur, do you want to answer the laundry question?
Yeah, so we have a question that's like, do we need to bring change for laundry? And no, we don't. Every student is going to get their Spider ID card when they move in. That looks like this. These are nicer, like these are fancier ones. And when you swipe these into, every residence hall is going to have like their laundry room, which is going to be in the basement of their dorm room, like their building. and it's just gonna have like a little swiping machine thing there, and you just swipe it in and you should be good. Like laundry is free. No one needs to worry about bringing change or anything like that.
Yep. So laundry is included in your tuition, room, and board fees, and so you don't have to do anything. Doesn't it, Hur and Mohammed, text you when it's done? Is that a thing still? Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that on the app. I haven't done it, so I don't know how it works. But it's like really simple. It's like 20 minutes for the washing and then an hour for the drying. So it's like not really complicated.
But yes, I've heard it will text you when you're done if you configure it that way. So somebody has a question about when they move into their room and whether or not they do that. So when you arrive to campus, so if you move in on Wednesday, August 17th, you'll come to Tyler Haynes Commons and do your check-in. That check-in should take no more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most. You get your mailbox key, you pick up your student ID, you set your room pin. If you haven't, we check to make sure if you set your room pin or not. If you didn't, we can set it for you. And then you go and move in. You have all day Wednesday to move in, get all those things done, get settled, run to Target for the things that you forgot, whatever you need to do on that day. And then the program begins that evening, Wednesday evening at 7:30 at the Robbins Center. So yeah, you don't have to wait until after the move-in meeting to start moving in. You can move-in starts at 9 a.m. Everybody was assigned their move-in times, and you should follow that and go directly to the Tyler Haynes Commons for your move-in to start your move-in process. Hur and Mohammed, what was your orientation experience like? A person would like to know.
So our orientation, personally, I really enjoyed my orientation. It was actually, I feel like it was the last one before COVID hit. It was kind of like special, I guess. I really enjoyed it. I remember meeting my OAs. They were very welcoming. They really wanted to get to know you one-on-one. They were always there to check on you. I remember like whenever I had a problem, I would just text one of them and they would be just like running to help, you know. Another thing is, meeting even during my transition programs, it was the same thing. I did the international orientation for transition programs, and even my OAs there were very welcoming. They basically just trying to create the most welcoming atmosphere. They make sure that you're not missing anything. They make sure that they facilitate transportations for you, like to make sure where the shuttle is for you to go to Target, get your things. So I personally had a good experience. They made sure that the resources that are available for me, and I have access to those, whether I need pretty much literally anything on campus. So I enjoyed it. I had a good time, and I think your OAs during orientation will ensure that you have the same good and I guess welcoming, informative time as well.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like when I arrived, I'm also an international student and I did international pre-orientation. Literally, I get to the airport and there's an orientation advisor there with a banner that's like, welcome to Richmond. And then they help me get into an Uber, come to campus. I'm in my dorm setting up, and then the orientation advisor knocks on the door and they're like, how are you feeling? Like, so I just felt like I was constantly being checked in by people. I didn't even know them, but they cared so much about me, which was just very meaningful to me as an international student. And then like during the transition program, I think I was very just like overwhelmed by everything. But once orientation started and I like made my friends, it became much better. And I really enjoyed going to all the socials, meeting new people, just like all of those things. I had a really good time, and I'm still friends with the people that I connected with in my orientation group. I'm living with some of them this year as a senior now. So it was just a very special time for me.
So somebody's asking a question of what time on Friday will we have free time to go meet different groups and go to open houses? So on the app, with the schedule, you'll be able to see when you don't have required events. On Friday, I think it's a pretty large time between like 12 and 5. Don't quote me, but it's, I think 12 and 8. That includes like lunch and open houses, and there's all kinds of affinity group meetings and all those kinds of things. There's also some on Thursday late hour afternoon when you're done with sessions, as well as some on Saturday. So you'll be able to see when you get in the schedule and start playing around with it. The great thing about the schedule and the app online also is that you can You can add things to my schedule. So if there are things that are as you're looking to it, you click a little plus button when you see an event that you want to add to your schedule, and you can like click, it'll add it to the my schedule, so you can sort of build what you want to do and remember where you want to go. And it even like sends you reminders and all those kinds of things. So it's pretty cool, and you'll have lots of time on Friday to go to lots of open houses. Hoover, there's a question for you. And then Mohammed, maybe you can answer the other one if you know it. We'll figure it out. But Hoover, go ahead.
Yeah, so the question is, as a young woman, did you always feel comfortable and safe while on campus during your first few weeks and months, even when walking alone? So I want to say, when I first came here, I wasn't really used to like what a college campus in like the suburbs is like. I wasn't really familiar with the concept, and so I was very nervous. And one thing that they told us during orientation that really stuck with me is that if you are ever, you can call like the UR campus police non-emergency number for whatever reason, and they can walk you so wherever you are. So I would be in the library studying till late, and my dorm room was literally like a 3-minute walk from there, but I would get like spooked out, and I would call them, and they would just walk me, like no questions asked, whatever day time. Like I felt very comfortable. That made me really comfortable with it. And as I spent more time on campus, I realized like what to expect. I became more familiar with things. I think there's a lot of resources, like I've used all of them in my time here, just because I always want to be safe. We have the Live Safe app, which is also, we're gonna have all the orientees when they come here download it. But it's basically an app where you can like say, someone will make sure that they can track like where you're walking basically, and they can like make sure that where you left and you reached where you needed to leave. Like, so it's similar to that. And then we also have a lot, like we have a student government initiative where it's like a buddy system. You can walk with a buddy, and that's also like something that is very common knowledge. Like your resident assistant or someone will like bring that up to you. So we make sure that all the new students are familiar with these resources when they get here. They know how to use them. We all commonly use them, but I do feel really safe on this campus. I think every time, like obviously it's not 100%. I think that, but our campus is really good with like broadcasting information, and like we always get emails and things like that about like if something has happened, like we will all know details of it and like what we can do to ensure our safety. And I think we have a lot of good resources. So I personally do feel safe walking around even by myself.
So in the chat, I put the app that we referred to called Live Safe, and that is on the police website. You can just go to police.richmond.edu, and you go to the bottom of the screen and it says Live Safe. And it's an app. That's the app that Hoover referred to. It is customized for the University of Richmond. You select University of Richmond when you download it, and you can actually talk to a dispatcher, text them back and forth, and it does all those things that Hoover described. The other one that I would do and encourage this one is for parents and families as well as students, is our UR alert system. That's our text messaging alert system. So it comes from everything from severe weather to anything more serious that may happen on campus when we do that. So parents and families can register an account by clicking on that link on our UR alert, and students just go into Banner Web, and then they go into UR alert, and they add their cell phone number, and then they accept the yes, I want to get text messages, and then it will start texting them alerts as well. Mohammed, you have a question about shipping things.
Yeah, so in terms of that, we have our post office on campus. Usually, even if the items are pretty large, they will be able to deliver them to the post office room, and you'll be able to collect it. The way it works is that they will send you an email to your school email, and it says you have mail, and you just go and collect it. I mean, today I received my 2 lost luggages, and I went to the mail room and collected them. So, and they were pretty big, so I'm pretty sure they can accept the mattress and so on. Yeah.
So mattresses we do have here at the university in your residence hall room. So you don't need to bring a mattress to the university. but you can ship packages to the campus post office, as Mohammed mentioned. So there's a question about when we show up on campus Wednesday in our overpacked cars, where will we be directed to where we're supposed to go? Yes, so everyone will come to Tyler Haynes Common as their first spot. When you arrive to move in, you there's 30-minute parking spots right outside of Tyler Haynes Commons, right along the lake. And there are security guards and hired folks that we have that help keep traffic moving and people moving. You'll go into Tyler Haynes Commons. Parents, families, students are all welcome to go in. Students must bring a government issued ID with them, as it says in their move-in instructions, so that they can pick up their Spider card. Parents, we have a resource fair and kinds of all other things that you can explore while your student is checking in. And then you guys will leave. We'll tell you where you'll go to Tyler Haynes Commons, then you will go to your residence hall that you've been assigned to. So we will direct you over to Laura Robbins Court or Moore Hall or Robbins Hall or Dennis Hall or Marsh Hall. So everyone starts at Tyler Haynes Commons, no matter which day you're moving in, Sunday or Wednesday, you come to Tyler Haynes Commons because that's where your check-in is. Woo! Well, guys, we have 11 minutes left, I think, or maybe 12 minutes left. I think we've exhausted the questions. Anything else that you guys think is important for our first year's parents and families to know before we wrap this up, or we'll give it a few more minutes in case anybody else has a burning question?
No, I was just going to add that for the mailing services, for me, this is what happened with me. I don't know if it's different now, but when you move in, when you check in, you get your your mailbox, which is going to help you order or mail stuff over to you. So that's something that would happen after check-in. I don't know if it's provided earlier.
Just to add to that, you should be able to check your mailbox number on BannerWeb.
Correct.
If you go under your personal information on BannerWeb, so I don't remember it on the top of my head, but once you go there, it should show you the address that you have on campus. It should start with UR box and it gives you the number. It's usually a 3 or a 4-digit number.
Yep. And so when you address items, you always include, if I wanted to mail Mohammed something, I would say Mohammed Hussein and his UR number, and then the address to be, and it's the same address for every single person. What's different is the UR box number. I'll pull that up on the post office website in case anybody is interested in the specifics. Do we have another question in the Q&A?
Yeah, there's a parking question.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys want to answer that one, or do you want me to?
You could take that one.
Okay. So the question is, where do people park if we get there early and want to explore campus? So on the first week, right? So this coming week coming up, you'll notice that all of our parking lots are assigned to specific groups. So it'll be assigned to students or assigned to faculty or staff. We're pretty lenient on parking this first week. And so you really could park wherever you would like to be able to walk around. If there are cones in a spot, because we're holding them for loading zones or for move-in parking, and you're not doing that, we'd ask you not to park in those places. But really, you could park in any of the other parking lots on campus if you just got here early and wanted to walk around and enjoy the beauty of campus or get your bearings or do any of those kinds of things. We just ask that you don't park in any, obviously, parking spaces that are designated for folks with disabilities, or in any of the lots that are, or the parking spaces that are coned off waiting for arrival and loading and unloading. Let me find that post office one, sorry. I got distracted.
I could possibly answer this one.
Go ahead.
So for the question is, if you don't have a car and have medications at the nearby CVS near the Publix, how can you get there? So we have our campus shuttles. They run every hour, and they would go straight to the shopping village where Publix is. You'll be able to get there, dropped off, collect your medication, whatever, and then you can just check the schedule on transportation, and you could see when the shuttle is coming back to the shopping village in order to come back to campus.
Yep. So that's I put the link in the in the chat about our shuttle system. So you can, Mohammed's exactly correct about that. We also have, back to Hoor's with a question about safety, we have a campus loop that runs around campus that goes from 8 p.m. until midnight on weeknights, and it goes till 2 a.m., right, Hoor, Mohammed, on weekends?
Yeah, that
I think so.
sounds about right.
It's late. They all have all the shuttles have GPS tracking in them. So you can see them where they're at. We also have zip cars on campus. So the university, so you can get a zip car account where if you have a legal driver's license, you don't have to have insurance because you pay for insurance as part of the zip car. You can use zip car on an hourly rate. The Village Shopping Center actually does have a walking route also that avoids Three Chopped Road, which is a fairly busy road that goes along front of it. So there's a walking path, and most of our OAs know exactly where that walking path is and can show you where it is. It's probably a 15-20 minute walk through it's through a very safe residential neighborhood, just cuts out the dangerous busy street with cars. So that's other ways to be able to do that. And then CVS does deliver some medications. So I know there's a fee usually with it, but like if you were really stressed about it and couldn't figure out a transportation situation, you could obviously elect for delivery as well.
Yeah, the campus is open till midnight. I believe.
Okay, thanks for midnight. So when we get deliveries to campus, food deliveries will deliver to residence halls. Some of those like DoorDash-y kinds of services will deliver directly to a residence hall room, a residence hall outside exterior. Packages like Amazon and UPS and FedEx all get delivered to our campus post office. Yeah, it just depends on the service that you're using when it's being shipped to campus, how it gets delivered. So like an Uber Eats, a DoorDash, Grubhub, all of those get delivered directly to residence hall exterior doors. Well, great. So I want to thank Hoor, Mohammed, and the rest, and for their time this evening. They have a whole evening full of activities with our orientation advisors that I'll let them get to. And I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. And we really look forward to welcoming you to campus in the coming week. See you soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.